So, how do you avoid probate? Well, there's one thing that works, but here's what does not. It's having a will. Because your will doesn't avoid probate, it's for it. Here's what actually works. By the way, I'm Jen. I've been a probate attorney for close to 20 years, and I've probated hundreds of estates, and a lot of them had wills that were perfectly fine and valid. So let's clear this up. A will tells the probate court what to do with probate assets. So if you want to avoid probate, you need to get your assets from becoming a probate asset. The question isn't, do I have a will? It's how do I get my assets to not be probate assets? And the answer is you need to get your assets to move automatically. When an asset has a transfer mechanism to it, a beneficiary designation is what this is called. We see this a lot with retirement accounts and life insurance policies, but a lot of different types of assets have the ability for you to list a beneficiary. It bypasses probate entirely. The financial institution sees the beneficiary form and the money goes directly to that person. No court, no delay. It's the same with joint ownership with rights of survivorship. If you co-own an asset where the survivor gets it simply by surviving you, then it transfers automatically to the survivor. Probate isn't touching it. But here's where people get stuck. Automatic transfers won't give clear directions. A beneficiary designation just names a recipient. It doesn't protect that money if that beneficiary is going through a divorce or has a creditor or is just not someone who should be managing money. It doesn't give them clear instructions. And it doesn't give any clarity of how your own expenses are supposed to be paid. And if that beneficiary dies before you do, it's the financial institution that's going to decide what happens next, not you or your family. And that's where a trust is different. A trust allows assets to transfer automatically to it according to its rules. And that's where we can get assets to transfer automatically, but with clarity and direction. So you can control who gets what, when they get it, who manages it, how your expenses are paid, and what happens if something goes wrong. So how do you actually avoid probate? Well, it's not just signing legal documents. That sets up your plan, but you actually have to implement your plan. Your assets have to listen to your plan. You have to make sure your ownership and your beneficiaries line up with it. You just can't sign legal documents and hope for the best. Your will, that's your instruction manual for probate court. That's plan B. And if you want to avoid probate, that can't be plan A. It's just not how it works. Here's what this means for you. If you want to avoid probate, you have to understand what you own in order to do that later implementation. And most people skip this step. They don't understand how important it is, and they assume their plan works because they signed something years ago. You can't assume. Let's confirm. So let's start out by identifying what you own, and that's what I do in my 6-day organizational challenge. The link is below, and each day I meet you in your email inbox with a simple category of information to gather, just a few minutes each day. And this is going to be your first real step to not just getting legal documents, but getting an estate plan that actually works. The link is below.